Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Your Dead Next Turn. It's your boy Tim. Today I'm going to give my first thoughts on Lorcana. This weekend I played all three starter decks, and I am ready for August 18th. My local game store is going to be selling starter decks and doing an event that every week you're going to get more booster packs just because they're an allocated stock. So stay tuned to that, and on September 1st we are going to get right into it because it's going to be at Walmart, Best Buy, and Target. So stay tuned for that. Definitely pick some up. It's going to be great for all the kids. So let's hop right into this. So my first thoughts on Lucana, aka Lorcana. I don't know why I just said that. I'm going off script today. So it is pretty great. So let's start off with the first deck I played, which is going to be the Amber and Amethyst. Great starter deck. It's a little on the slow side. It's not like an aggro deck, so you're not just going to pop off. It is going to take some time, but it's very good. I came to the conclusion that Lorcana is going to be very, very card draw heavy. I talk about it in a couple of other starter decks, but the problem that I've been seeing personally is the fact that when you run out of cards and you are top decking, it's kind of hard to come back, especially if you're down with lore counters. But with the Amethyst, there's a lot of songs in it, and a lot of the songs that are in the starter deck draw you cards. There's also characters like Maleficent that will actually enter the battlefield, draw a card. So it's very good for card draw. It's good for the late game when your opponent runs out of cards or they are top decking. You will still have a lot of cards to play, and if they are ahead of you, you will come back. That I've seen. The biggest thing with the starter decks is the ink. So the cards in the starter deck, the biggest card that they have that is a character or an action is going to be 8 in the starter deck for this one. So once you get 8 ink on the battlefield, you should pretty much stop at that point and play what you can. So that is really good. Moana is really good for princesses in that deck, as well as Maleficent and I don't know how to say his last name, but the villain from The Princess and the Frog. Very good. Very fun to play. They did a demo event at my local game store. Pretty good turnout. A lot of people playing, a lot of lore counters, and a lot of kids. So if you do have kids, guys, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's very easy. There's not much you have to read on these cards. There's not much to explain. Reading the card pretty much tells you what they do. So for kids, if they know that, it's great to play. Especially for TCG players in general, it's very fun. It's a lot different. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or Magic. Best way I described it to a couple of my buddies that wanted to try it was Mickey Mouse met Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of had a baby, and boop, Lorcana was born. It's very fun. It's very fast. Games last about 10-15 minutes, depending on the card draw, obviously. But in personal opinion, great, fun game for pretty much everybody. So we went over the Amber Amethyst. The next one I want to go over is the Sapphire Steel. Pretty much the black and blue. So my first thoughts on this one is very great for ramping. So you do get your bigger creatures out a lot faster than your opponents. So the bigger the character, the more lore. So they have Mufasa in it, that is a 6. They have a Maui, that is 8. They have Simba, that is 7. They do have a lot of big characters in that starter deck that get you a lot of lore counters. It goes from 2 to all the way to 3. The biggest one is, like I talked in a previous video, the Mickey Mouse Detective. As soon as he enters, he has take the top card, throw it in the inkwell. You also have Gamma Taya from Moana. As soon as she's banished, instead of putting her into your graveyard, you throw her in your inkwell. And she's only a 2-drop, I'm not mistaken, possibly a 3. But the ramp is really good because if you're a step up from your opponent, those bigger characters can come out and start getting you lore counters, can actually start just challenging your opponent's characters. So in that aspect, it is very great. And now we move on to the final starter deck, which I played. I wasn't a big fan, even though it had some of the best characters that I have seen that I actually love. It's going to be the Emerald Ruby. It is a Cruella Aladdin deck. One thing that I do like about this deck is evasive. So if you guys don't know what evasive is, characters that have evasive can only be challenged by characters with evasive. So one of the best cards that I played in that was Pongo. He is a 2/2 dog character, obviously from 101 Dalmatian. He has evasive, and he has 2 lore counters. So if your opponent doesn't have evasive in their deck, you are every single turn going to get 2 lore counters from Pongo. And I believe that deck has 3 of them in total. So that is 6 if you have them on the board every single time, which is really great. The only bad thing I actually have to say is the card draw in that one. It is really not there. The card that actually got me a lot of cards while playing that deck was the Mad Hatter, because he is for 3 lore, so a lot of people will challenge him. Every time I threw him on the battlefield and I did get the first lore counters questing with him, he was instantly the target to get off the board. So sometimes people challenge with 2 characters. Well, that's drawing me 2 cards. Yes, he's banished, but I did draw 2 cards. And that's kind of what I have to say. But my first thoughts overall, seeing these since Gen Con, I did not go to Gen Con. So for me, this game is going to be great. They even started announcing that this is only first chapter, so there's only 204 cards in total. But in November, the second chapter is coming out, which is great. So if you can't get this chapter, guys, please, please go to the second one. And get it from your local game store if you can, August 18th. But if not, it's going to be in the big retail stores September 1st. Hopefully you guys like this video. I know it's kind of short. It's just my first thoughts on playing, since I did play all weekend long with friends. It was a great turnout. Everybody had fun. Every deck kind of did what they needed to do at some point. It's just based on what you get in hand that make you better. So like I said, if you guys want card draw, the Amber Amnest is great. If you guys want ramp, the Steel Sapphire is great. And if you want the evasive, kind of try to get fast aggro kind of style, definitely go with the Ruby Emerald. All 3 decks did their thing for me. I did go 2 for 2. Both my losses did come, however, on the Ruby Emerald, because that is the one I played the most. And I did win the other 2 with the other 2 decks. So personally, coming from somebody, if I had the choice to only pick one, which is what I'm going to do at my local game store event on August 18th, I would definitely go with the Amber Amnest. The only reason why is there's more cards that I want with a deck I'm going to be posting later on, which is the Princesses. And I do really like the card draw. I also like the Sing mechanic with that one. So all for all, it's really fun. It's really fast, and it is longevity. So coming from a Magic player, I don't try to do a lot of aggro deck. I think that's why I didn't do as well with the Emerald Ruby. But the Steel Sapphire was very good with ramp. I did get those big characters out fairly quickly. And my opponents could not handle the big creatures like Simba, Return of the King, Maui from Moana. Even Aurora did its work, and it was too fast and too powerful for opponents, and the ramp kind of stopped them for the longevity of the game. But yeah, that's my first thoughts. Hopefully I will be posting more videos come August 18th when I have them in hand. So please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that bell notification, because I will be posting a lot more Disney Lorcana. I know in my Twitter I have posted that I am kind of having like a secret affair on Magic with Lorcana. There's a meme out there where the guy's looking backwards, holding hands of Magic, and Lorcana's walking by. That's pretty much me right now. I think Lorcana is very fun. I think the variety of cards are there. It's Disney. They have a wide variety. They have Marvel. They have Star Wars. They have everything that I'm hoping to see with Lorcana moving forward. So please, guys, just check it out. Starter decks are running about $17.99. So even if you guys love TCGs, just go pick up a starter deck or two with the family. Play it. It's very easy and fun and good time for everybody. So thanks again for watching, guys. You guys have a great night.